I just wanted to show the world that we could play some basketball at this program. That's exactly what we did.
This team won. Enthusiasm, will, chemistry, everybody willing to sacrifice for each other.
They said, no, too young, too many freshmen. I took that to the gym every day.
Everybody watched extra film, trying to get better. At that point on, I knew, this is a special team.
From shoot around to on the bus, everybody was just focused and quiet, ready to go.
One thing I try to tell my teammates is to go out there and have fun.
He knew that he had to carry us, and I definitely think he stepped up to the challenge, and just about every night.
It was so difficult to put into words what you were feeling.
The biggest thing that we told each other was that if we play the same way we played in the biggest tournament, there's no way we could lose.
Kemba gets it back, drive, dishes inside, Edwards won't go, it's tipped up, it's grabbed by Bell, and he's fouled with 0.7 of a second to go.
Coming off a disappointing 18-16 season and losing star players Jerome Dyson and Stanley Robinson to graduation, the UConn Huskies headed into the 2010-2011 season as one of the youngest and least touted teams under Jim Calhoun. The Huskies entered the season stacked with underclassmen, and prognosticators picked them to finish 10th in the loaded Big East Conference.
Last year's team, we lacked, chemistry a lot. But this year, chemistry was our main focus.
We were incredibly young, youngest team I've ever coached, certainly with 7 freshmen. We had a couple sophomores, so 9 of our 12 scholarship players were either freshmen or sophomore. It allowed Kemba to kind of, on the court and off the court, and along with Donnell Beverly, a senior of ours, to kind of define his role.
Coach told me and Donnell that we were going to be the team captains, and as soon as we got the news, we called the freshmen. We told those guys to come in ready to work hard, and that's exactly what they did.
They kind of followed our lead in what we did, and try not to be late for things, and be early, stay late, kind of that mentality. And I think it worked out for the best.
Kemba and Donnell did something totally different. They just stressed the whole idea of family and brotherhood. We do everything together. Kemba, he sets up, times where we all just hang out, and he's made dinner for the whole team and stuff like that. And I think that definitely helped because this team, really loved each other like a family.
Very quickly, the 2010-2011 Connecticut Huskies became Kemba Walker's team, a team that was ready to show the country that UConn was back and motivated.
Sports Illustrated came out with a listing. They listed 68 teams, top 68, and we were not in the top 68. Now that we used. I can remember specifically telling Kemba, they just came out with 68 teams and we're not in the top 68. And they got upset at that.
They said, too young, too many freshmen, all we have is Kemba Walker, no post presence, and I took that to the gym every day.
I was just like, wow, it was really unbelievable. I figured that I'll post it in the locker room.
After 2 easy wins to begin the season over Vermont and Stony Brook, UConn left for Hawaii to play in the Maui Invitational, a tournament packed with perennial national powers like Washington, Kentucky, and Michigan State. First up for the Huskies was Wichita State, a 25-win team from a year ago. With UConn up just 1 at the break, Kemba Walker was about to take the game and college basketball by storm.
3 minutes to play, Shockers up 3. Off on the right limb, starts to penetrate, off to Walker, long 3, good! Kemba, tricky dribbling, starts left, wheels, jumper, good! Kemba Walker with 29.
It was a great half. It was a great half. I was just playing basketball, I was trying to do whatever it took to win that game.
Kemba goes left, drives, stops, pops, hits the shot! 31 for Walker, a 3-point UConn lead, 41 seconds to go.
Behind Walker's 29 second-half points, the Huskies came from behind to beat Wichita State 82-79. The next night, Walker led the Huskies and his young team into a battle with number 2 ranked Michigan State.
With 4, with 3, nowhere to go. Napier a long 3. He's good! The Huskies get a 3 to go to the locker room. Kemba is going to have to get it up. Walker with 2 tries a 3. It's good! Kemba up the right sideline in the front court. One-on-one, stutter steps, wheels, deals, and hits!
Sophomore big man Alex Oriaki scored 15 points and grabbed 17 rebounds, but once again, Kemba Walker led the team with 30 points. His final 2 coming with just 52 seconds left to give UConn the lead for good.
Walker starts right, now left, top of the key, drives left, fade away, good! Kemba Walker with 30 and UConn up 1.
It probably set the stage. I mean, there's no question that it gave us great confidence that we were a good team. Maui gave us the belief we can beat anyone in the country.
Green goes left from midcourt, the Heat for the tie. No good! And UConn wins it. This one belongs to the Huskies, 70-67. And the most unlikeliest of UConn teams gets to the Maui Invitational Finals. The Youngins and K-Walk have done it again.
People think that we fell off, even though we've been to the Final Four, 2 years ago. I just wanted to show the world that we can play some basketball at this program, and that's exactly what we did.
In Maui, it becomes evident that Kemba Walker has transcended his game from good player to superstar, doing everything with a smile on his face.
Kemba just makes you feel good. Doesn't matter who you are. He does that with everyone.
Kemba was special. The joy of having that smile, that good sense of humor that he has, to have the fun part about it, and have him lead, and the serious part about it, and the recognition of other guys being really good, that's really unique.
On the court, his smile and all his antics that he does, it just shows you how much he loves the game. Off the court, he's one of the best people you want to be around. He's an idol to me.
He's a real winner. He pushes us, he leads by examples.
One thing I try to tell my teammates is to go out there and have fun. Every time we have fun, everything just flowed.
Walker didn't become a superstar overnight. He worked throughout the summer, evolving his game and improving his work ethic.
Kemba came to us as a typical New York City push guard. Drive it as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and go as far as you can until you hit somebody. And then you jump into them and try to score. But he wasn't truly a point guard.
I worked extremely hard, this whole summer. I went to different basketball camps. Then I played with the USA select team, I was a practice player for the national team. That was really what helped me become a better player. I got a chance to, play against Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, Ray John Rondo. Those guys are 22, 23 years old, not too much older than me, and those are NBA All-Stars. And it was a very humbling experience, and it just made me realize that I had to work a lot harder if I wanted to get to their level. That's what I did.
In the championship game versus Kentucky, Walker and the Huskies continued their early season magic.
Kemba up the right side of the front court, spot up three, good! Kemba Walker with 17. Comes left, loses it. Giffey saves to Walker. Kemba drives all the way, scoops it up and in! 23 for Walker.
We didn't really know what to expect. Well, I didn't know what to expect, having such a young team. But I think that was our breakout time for this team, and we just showed the whole country that, we can play.
What an amazing 3 days in Maui. And this one, the Maui Invitational, belongs to the Huskies.
We beat Wichita State, we beat Michigan State, and we beat Kentucky. I mean, we beat 3 really, really good teams. Therefore, we're pretty good. And I think they recognize that.
Along with another double-double by Oriaki, Walker poured in 29 points and captured the tournament MVP as the Huskies pummeled the Wildcats 75-58.
You know, everybody knew their roles, you know, from the jump, and we worked hard. You know, it wasn't a surprise because, you know, I knew the things that we're capable of as a team.
Gaining momentum from their incredible run in Hawaii, the Huskies youngsters showed this UConn team was the real deal. And as the season progressed, the young team began to adopt the confidence and will to win of their leader, Kemba Walker.
Kemba's play kind of took pressure off the freshmen. They were just allowed to play.
I told everybody, I said, you know, we have a lot of freshmen people don't know about, but, you know, when the season comes, we're going to show the nation who they are.
We recognized early that they were good. I think that was the first thing.
We recruited terrifically well. It just didn't measure up to what other people were saying about the players we brought in. Jeremy Lamb was not a high-ranked player. It was not important to him he was high-ranked by someone else. He was high-ranked by me. Shabazz Napier, Roscoe, Niels, Tyler Olander. I loved our freshmen. I thought we had one of the best recruiting classes in the country, and it proved out we did.
You know, I remember being out there, and it was me and 4 freshmen. I'm just laughing like I'm really out with 4 freshmen, and they're definitely not playing like it. So, you know, if it wasn't for them, I don't know where we'd be right now.
The freshmen all brought different skills to the floor. And despite its youth, UConn became a complete team.
Man, Jeremy, he's a freak of nature for real. His wingspan is extremely long. You know, he has long legs, and I see him do some things, and I'm just like, wow.
Open Napier 3. Side of the rim, now good. Dunked home by Lamb!
Shabazz is a freshman, but he doesn't act like it. You know, on the court, he definitely acts like a veteran out there. And, you know, for him to be able to play the point guard and have Kemba come off screens, that's so valuable for us. I definitely think he's one of the best on-ball defenders in the country, if not the best.
Roscoe, he's a good slasher. He rebounded well. You know, he blocked shots. So Roscoe did a lot of things that, you know, sometimes didn't go in the stat sheet, but, you know, you see it when you watch film.
Jim did what I thought was one of the greatest coaching things that I've ever seen by him. He was able to use the 5 freshmen that we played all the time, but he was able to put them in places. His ability to pick and choose which one was going to give us some minutes was masterful.
This team actually won as much as anything else with enthusiasm, will, chemistry, everybody knowing what to do, and everybody willing to sacrifice for each other. Kind of unusual, and I think their youth played into that. They didn't know any better. This is kind of how you play college basketball.
On December 22nd, UConn soundly defeated Harvard 81-52, and the Huskies stood at a perfect 10-0. A team picked 10th in their own conference was now ranked in the top 5 in the country.
I was a little surprised, but I knew once the Big East hit, you know, it was going to be a tougher road.
Although UConn stumbled in 2 of their next 3 games, losing to nationally ranked Pittsburgh and Notre Dame, the Huskies remained a confident and focused bunch. Next up, an out-of-conference trip to Austin to play 12th-ranked Texas, a team that just a few weeks earlier was ranked #1 in the nation.
When we got into Big East play, we lost a tough game, a 3-point game at Notre Dame to 5 seniors.
Before that game, we was on the road against Notre Dame, I believe, and we lost, and it was a tough loss, but, you know, from there, we went straight to Texas, and we had 2 great practices. We really got a chance to figure out, you know, what went wrong in the Notre Dame game, and, you know, we was able to correct it.
We flew down to Texas, and everybody watched extra film. Everybody was in, you know, the assistant coach's room, you know, watching film, trying to get better. From that point on, I knew, you know, this was a special team.
We went to Texas, you know, on a mission.
13 for Roscoe Smith. UConn with a 5-point lead. Kicks it right to Napier. He takes a three, and he makes a three. Kemba along the right sideline, left behind the Kwandu screen. Penetrates left, gets inside, reverses and hits, and he's fouled. Oh, what a move by Kemba Walker.
The game went to overtime, and despite an 8 for 27 shooting night from their star guard, Kemba made them when they counted, including a three-point shot for the ages.
In trouble. Well, trouble with 4. They're not going to get a shot off. It's knocked away. Walker heaves, and he hits. He hit it from midcourt. He just threw it up at the hoop, and it went in.
A lot of people said I didn't get it off, in time, but clearly I did. The refs didn't say anything, so when I saw it go in, I was just all smiles. It was it was a pretty amazing shot.
Trailing 81-80, Walker again stuck a dagger into the Longhorns' hearts.
Every time we're in that position, my teammates is like, all right, let's go, Kemba. let's win this game. Coach Calhoun is like, he's telling everybody, whatever you do, get Kemba the ball.
Walker starts right, then left. Now stop and go, now left. Fadeaway jumper is good! Walker puts UConn up by 1.
His confidence is crazy. We trusted him with the ball, at the end of the clock, at the end of the game. He hit him when it counted.
Brown lobs it on the right, stripped out of Joseph's hands, he gets it back, it's short, and this one belongs to the Huskies.
That was a great sign for us that we could play that kind of a physical team, that kind of a talented team, and beat them in their home court.
I think that win gave us a lot of confidence because, to go into Texas and beat them at their place, not a lot of teams do that. And, we just show people once again we could play with anybody and we could beat anybody.
Just 9 days later, the Huskies hosted Villanova, and Kemba showed he was still the man.
Here's Kemba with 5, drives right, puts up a floater, he hits! Huskies up 2, 2.5 to go. 61-59. Nova doesn't have a timeout.
After another great out-of-conference victory over Tennessee and a hard-fought win at Marquette, the Huskies stood 17-2 and were ranked in the top 5 in the nation headed into February. But soon after, things began to go downhill.
I told myself, I said, we're a young team. People forget. We have about 7, 8 freshmen. We're going to go through slumps.
It was tough. That was probably one of the toughest times in my career because, we started off so great, and then, mid-season we started to slump.
After starting 17-2, UConn lost 2 tough games, a heartbreaking double overtime loss to Louisville and a home loss to Syracuse. Then on February 10th, UConn got blown out at St. John's, and the Huskies started to spiral downward. It wasn't a coincidence that during the losing streak, Kemba Walker began showing signs that he was human.
I wasn't playing so well, and I was getting a little frustrated, but I really couldn't show that I was frustrated because I'm the leader of this team, and as I go, my teammates go. I was trying my best to stay positive until I came back to life.
We did play poorly in a couple games and lost, and we certainly lost a couple games at home that we should not have lost.
And I guess as I look back in retrospect, we were learning every day. We were getting better every day, but sometimes you couldn't see it by wins or losses.
The losing continued. First 71-58 to Louisville, followed by a home loss in overtime to Marquette. Huskies Hall of Fame coach Jim Calhoun was absent to attend the funeral of his sister-in-law. It was personally one of the hardest, if not the hardest season in Jim Calhoun's career.
It was a tough time for Coach. He had a rough, 2 years, in my opinion. He just had a lot going on, with his health. He missed a lot of games last season. He had a couple of deaths in his family. It was tough on him.
The most difficult part certainly was the loss of my sister-in-law, Eileen, who's very special to me, and her and my wife were only 14 months apart, and they were like twin sisters in many ways, and we had been very close, and she died of cancer. And then a real tough blow hit me in the sense that my 49-year best friend, 49 years, we walked into a room in college, hi, roommates, fraternity brothers, teammates in basketball, and then lifelong friends, and we lost him before we lost Eileen. That was really a blow to me. You know, I needed something to turn to every day.
By early March, it looked like UConn was all but dead. The young Huskies were showing signs of inexperience, and they were falling fast in the polls. Following a 9-point loss at West Virginia, the team hit rock bottom on senior day, losing 70-67 to Notre Dame. It was the Huskies' 4th loss in 5 games. They limped into the Big East tournament seeded 9th and were forced to play an opening round game at noon against DePaul, something Coach Calhoun called a slap in the face for the program.
It was frustrating, you know, I didn't know where people's heads was at. You know, confidence was pretty low, but, you know, we just went after it in practice.
Next morning, we had 2.5-hour practice, which would be atypical with the Big East tournament coming up on Tuesday, so now we have a couple days to prepare. We went at it for 2.5 hours. I mean, really went at it.
We went extremely hard. You know, it was like the first day of practice again.
And that's what we did for 2 days. We go to what we call our shell.
You know, we did things that we wouldn't normally do.
It was just a lot of hard-nosed stuff, and, you know, going to the Big East, Coach just said it's a new season. You know, whatever you didn't do before, do it now.
Coach felt that we needed to go hard again, and that's exactly what we did.
We just said, you know, new season, let's just play basketball.
Those 2 practices are the reason we really, you know, excelled in the postseason.
Kemble all the way to the hoop, the finger rolling off the glass and in. Too easy for Walker.
We were able to put 96 or 7 points on the board in that game and win by a lot of points. It gave us some swagger back.
Now loops it left, wide open. Coombs McDaniel's 3 is good. Stolen by Lamb. Lamb slam. Stop. Knocked out of his hands by Walker and Stones. Here's Kemba, straight down the middle, all the way, lets it up and in. As he's fouled. Here's Shabazz, one-on-one with Stark. Shakes, left hand layup, good, and he's fouled.
The Huskies came to New York City revitalized. Behind a combined 54 points by Kemba Walker, UConn routed DePaul and then Georgetown, setting up a quarterfinal clash with top-seeded Pittsburgh.
I felt like we was a different team from right there. I felt like we were ready to go.
Fakes with 3, goes left, gives it off to Woodall for a 3. It's good as the shot clock buzzer sounds. 23-11, the Panthers.
The Panthers stormed out in front and took an 8-point lead at the half. However, the Huskies chipped away, and the game went back and forth down the stretch, setting the stage for another incredible finish and a familiar hero.
Alex Trapp gives to Walker, brings it back out with 15, tied at 74.
Coach was trying to draw up a play for me, but you know, being that we have such a great relationship, he let me have my opinion. I told him just let me come up a ball screen because I knew they'd switch.
Walker on the hop to the right, top of the key. McGee has him on a switch with 6.
I came up a ball screen and I got the switch with McGee. You know, I was just looking at the time until it went down so I could go. My first thought was, you know, he can't stay with me, so you know, I'm gonna go by him and try to get to the basket. You know, I made a move, and I made another move that he was already going that way, and so I just made my step back
Here's Walker with 4, stops, moves left, steps back, the jumper, it's good! At the buzzer, and Kemba Walker has done it again! And UConn gets to the Big East semifinals! McGee picked him up on the switch. Walker with an ankle-breaking move, and UConn wins.
I haven't beat Pitt throughout my whole career. That was my first time, so it was an exciting feeling to beat them, in the Big East tournament, in MSG, and hit the game winning. So it was a great experience.
A lot of people start to say, 3 in a row? I mean, that's going to be really tough. They'll never be able to do 4.
He fakes, drives left, high arcing shot, no. Olander tips it in! Diagonally out to Walker, catch and shoot 3, good!
And I told him, would you rather be back in one of my 2-hour practices, or would you rather be doing this? We'd rather be doing this.
In the semis, it was more of the same versus Syracuse, as the Huskies held off the Orange in overtime. Walker did it all, scoring 33 points, grabbing a career-high 12 rebounds, dishing out 5 assists and getting 6 steals, and setting up a date with Louisville in the championship game.
Every tournament we've been in, we just tell ourselves, we gotta win it. Like, why come this far and lose? And, we bought into that.
Beat DePaul, and Georgetown, and Pitt, Syracuse. It was a great feeling.
The Big East title matchup was UConn's 5th game in 5 days, but the team played fresh.
It was amazing. We didn't really have time to be tired.
Walker goes for the steal. He gets it. Here's Kemba, coast to coast. He slams! He's done everything else this week.
For a 3rd consecutive game, the outcome came down to the final play.
Carrick to inbounds, lobs it up. Here's Siva, drives, kicks, nose for the tie, no good! And UConn has won it! Their 7th Big East Conference Tournament title, and the most improbable one of them all!
I know it hasn't been done before, and I don't know that it's going to be done again.
The one thing that got us over the hump this whole year was us being so close. We always preach that we're brothers and we're family, and we really always show that on the court. So that's probably the one thing I'm gonna take away from this team.
If there was any doubt if the Huskies would be fatigued, they put those doubts to rest in their first game against Bucknell.
The biggest thing that we focused on, that we told each other, was that, if we play the same way we played in the Big East tournament and the NCAA tournament, there's no way we could lose.
Walker goes right behind a screen, kick right, Lamb open 3, good!
Some people had us losing to Bucknell. Guys watch their shows and they come back in the locker room. He said we're going to lose to Bucknell, so I think guys take that offensive. We came out just hungry.
Comes left, gives to Walker on the curl, kick right, Lamb open 3, good! 4th 3 of the game for Lamb, who's got 15.
The Big East can do a couple things too. It can hurt you. It can be extended a long period of time, and you come up empty-handed or anything else. So we come up full, and really full.
It's saved, but saved to Walker. Sprints by one guy into the front court. Leaves it for Oriaki, who slams!
Behind a UConn NCAA tournament record 12 assists from Kemba Walker, the Huskies dominated the Bison 81-52. Next up, the Huskies faced Big East rival Cincinnati, which the players knew would be a rough conference battle.
We all wish we didn't have to play those guys, but it's March Madness.
To no one's surprise, the Bearcats hung tough and had the lead early in the second half.
Cincinnati played extremely well, but different guys, like always, different guys on our team stepped up.
Walker penetrates, jump stop, kick right, layup open, three, it's good! 45-43 UConn.
I played pretty well.
This year, he knew it was his team. He knew we were really young, and he knew that he had to carry us, and I definitely think he stepped into the challenge, and just about every night.
Walker tries to split the double team, scoops it up and in! A magnificent move by K-Walk.
Behind 33 points from Walker, including 16 in the game's last 10 minutes, the Huskies pulled away from pesky Cincinnati.
We go to Alex, tell them we're in a tournament, we might as well win it. And it kind of became a theme.
Worked out to be a kind of a funny thing where we were just immune to pressure during that particular point in time.
The Huskies' 69-58 win put them in the Sweet 16, where they would meet the West Region's #2 seed, San Diego State. UConn was not only up against the Aztecs, a team that lost just twice during the season, but a partisan crowd in Anaheim, driving distance from SDSU's campus.
It was definitely a road game.
Neutrality was thrown out the window, and that's fine. We kept saying them. Our job is to quiet this crowd down.
Holds at the waist, moves left on Coombs McDaniel, wheels right, dishes off to Thomas, lays it up, in, and he's fouled. Gay on the left, one-on-one with Walker, penetrates inside, floats it up, off the glass and in. And the inbounds is stolen by Franklin. Wraparound pass to White, lays it up and in.
I think they thought all the way through that they were going to pull it out.
Sometimes I'm best with my back in the corner. When you got me cornered, that's when I've got you.
UConn trailed 53-49 with 9:19 left to play. But that's when Kemba Walker stopped the Aztecs' rally cold.
Kemba bounces left elbow, Oriaki gives to Kemba, roll to the hoop, puts it up, as he's bumped. No call, and he lays it in. 24 for Walker.
I just made shots. I was able to make some shots, and that was why, I was, pretty much unguardable that game.
Left elbow to Smith. Roscoe holds. Walker's three. Good! 34 for Walker. And UConn leads by 9.
The Aztecs would storm back, using an 8-0 run to cut the UConn lead to 1. That's when Jeremy Lamb would hit the biggest shot of his young career.
To the baseline, a heave, no good. Tip, Oriaki controls. Lamb, a three, is good! Lamb's third three in the game. It's a 4-point UConn lead, 68-64.
My teammates was looking for me. They keyed in on Kemba, so I got some open shots. So all I could do was knock them down.
The Huskies survived, topping the Aztecs 74-67 to advance to the Elite Eight. And now we're just one win away from the Final Four. With their 8th win in the last 17 days, UConn now stood just one win away from the Final Four. Standing in the way was Arizona, who had upset Duke to make their way to the Elite Eight.
You do get nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because you work so hard, and when you get that far, you definitely want to go to the Final Four. From shoot around to on the bus, everybody was just focused and quiet, ready to go.
Outlets Walker into the front court, left sideline, veers right, jump pass, Napier's three, good. Jones walks it up against Napier, backs it over the midcourt line. Napier steals it, here's Shabazz, all the way to lay it in. Sean Miller calls for time.
The Huskies took an 8-point lead at the half, but Arizona would storm back behind Player of the Year candidate Derek Williams.
Here's Jones, down the middle, kicks to Williams who slams. 12 for Williams, Chip Calhoun calls a timeout.
Derek he's probably the best player, in college basketball this year. He got in foul trouble the first half, but second half he was pretty much unstoppable.
Once the Wildcats took the lead, it was super freshman Jeremy Lamb who gave UConn a huge second half boost.
The most significant turnaround to be a prime-time scorer at particular points late in games, and he did a little bit of that in the Big East too.
Gets it out to Walker. Kemba holds against 5. Gives it left, Lamb open, a jumper. It's good, and Lamb has re-given UConn the lead. Out to Williams. Moves left, his pass deflected, and stolen by Lamb to the rack. A Lamb slam! 18 for Lamb, 3 minutes to go, and UConn's at 7. 62-55.
He was special. He was truly special, and will eventually be, I think, another one of the special players here at UConn.
With UConn tasting a trip to Houston, Arizona stormed back and were within 2, 65-63, and had the ball for the game's final possession.
18.2 to play. Any foul will be 2 shots. Jones into the backcourt for Arizona, guarded by Napier.
It was so scary. I'm just thinking, I hate all these game winners. I hate all these game winners on other teams, and I hope it's not, my turn, to feel that pain.
Snaps it off on the right for Hill. Hill against Lamb, almost loses, gets it off to Fogg, up top Williams. Pump fakes, a 3 for the lead. Off the back rim, no.
Derek, he missed his, and I'm like, yes. Then for some reason, the ball goes out to one of their players, and he's wide open.
Pass is thrown on the rebound, out very smartly. He steps into it, which is the best way to shoot it. I guess I was holding my breath at the time, yeah.
I tried to contest it so hard. I really thought I was gonna block the shot.
The ball's in the air, and I'm looking at everything is just slow motion. I'm like, I said it out loud. I said, oh man, it's over.
Tipped up in the air, grabbed by Fogg, kicks to the right, Horn a 3. Off the back rim, no. It's slapped up. It's put up at the buzzer. No good. No good. Houston, hello. The Huskies are on their way to the Final Four.
After we won it and they missed those 2 shots, it was just a sigh of relief, and we was just so happy. We was going to the Final Four from a team that was said to be too tired.
Me and Kemba used to talk last year, and we just feel like every bad thing that could happen to us last year and last season, it happened. Like any shot that was a dagger shot to us, guys made it. And I think this year, it's just the opposite way. The ball just didn't go in the rim for teams this year against us.
And everybody, doubted us throughout the whole season. So for us to make it that far, it was just happy that all our hard work paid off.
Just exhilaration, like you were 25 again. It was so hard, so difficult to put into words what you were feeling.
So what's the last couple of days been like around campus here?
It hasn't been as crazy as I expected. It's been fun, actually. I've been walking around, people have been saying good job and stuff like that, and people have been screaming out their cars, but other than that, that's about it. I told those guys that it was gonna be a lot of media, a lot of pictures, and a lot of fans gonna want your autograph. It wears you out sometimes, and I knew that from experience. Being in the first Final Four, it definitely wore me and my teammates out. I told my guys that just make sure you can get rest. Everybody took my advice.
In the national semis, UConn would face Kentucky, a team they had easily defeated earlier in the season at the Maui Invitational. This time, the stakes would be much higher.
Well, we thought Kentucky really improved from the time we saw them in Maui to when we played them in the NCAA.
Bottom line is they were really starting to play, and they were a terrific offensive team. Everything we, no, I shouldn't say everything, but 70% of what we did in practice was defensive schemes to try to take away their strengths.
We beat on them pretty bad, you know, in the championship, so I knew that was in the back of their mind, and I knew they're going to want revenge. We jumped out on them early in the first half. We was able to go up by 10.
Rebound grab by Lamb, gives to Walker on the run out. He's chased, but he lays it up in air. Outside the arc, moves right, picked up by Vargas. Backdoor, Kwandu to dunk on the left. Nice give and go as a Kwandu got to the hoop. Here's Knight on the run out. It's stripped and stolen by Walker. He's got Roscoe Smith for a slam. Walker's defense led to Smith's first hoop and the biggest UConn lead, 27-19.
Using a balanced first half attack and some swarming defense, the Huskies led 31-21 at intermission. However, the SEC champs began chipping away, and with both teams' defenses playing extremely well, scoring was at a premium in the second half.
I can tell that those guys really watch, a lot of film on me and my teammates. DeAndre Liggins, I thought he did a great job with me throughout the whole game. He wasn't going for any of my shot fakes or anything.
After Kentucky's Deron Lamb hit a jumper to tie the game at 48, UConn went on a 6-0 spurt to take a 54-48 lead.
Shabazz starts left, looks back door, goes to the baseline, gets to the hoop, reverses, and hits! 54-48 UConn, 2:20 to go.
Kentucky would not wilt, however, and with under 15 seconds to go, the lead was sliced to 2, and Kentucky had the ball.
They definitely made some runs. They definitely had some big shots, but there goes our defense, and they weren't really able to get comfortable.
Knight heads to the right, kicks it off. Liggins, a three is short. Rebound tipped up, grabbed by Napier. Napier dribbles and he's fouled with 1.7 seconds to go.
Shabazz Napier made 2 free throws, securing the win for the Huskies. In winning their 10th straight game in a mere 26 days, the Huskies now stood 40 minutes away from an improbable national championship.
It was a tough night for me, but different guys stepped up in my team, and that's why we was able to come out with the win.
The national championship game featured the Huskies against a team that was on an improbable run of its own, the Butler Bulldogs.
The thing we respected most about Butler was that they stay in every possession.
We keep everything the same. We know if we play hard, we have a chance to beat anybody. I think the game plan, it's not really nothing complicated. It's just go out there and play as hard as you can.
The young Huskies, however, knew this was anything but a typical game.
I was totally off-centered. I didn't know what I was doing. But I guess that's what happens when you play a national championship game.
Butler was a terrific opponent. They really competed, and people missed the competition because the ball wasn't going in the hole. The competition was incredible.
It was really 2 good defensive teams going against each other, and people don't seem to realize that.
I just was concerned that we weren't showing the same kind of life we needed to defensively.
Shelvin Mack's three-pointer at the buzzer gave the Bulldogs a 22-19 halftime lead.
Shelvin Mack gives Butler the lead with his second hoop of the first half.
UConn went to the locker room trailing at the half for the first time in the NCAA tournament.
He probably went after them as hard as he had gone after them during the year.
Coach didn't do that in a while. He didn't get into us, in a long time, and he picked the right time to do it.
I did get on them at halftime, yes, very much so. It's my job to let them know that they're letting themselves down on the biggest stage possible, the national championship.
He really, picked on some guys individually, and some guys, they took it personal and really went out there and really got after it.
At halftime, my teammates just said, "Come on, Lamb, you're gonna have a good half. Let's go, pick it up." Coach Calhoun got it to me because he knew I could do more. He just told me, don't be playing scared.
Here's Shabazz up the right sideline of the front court. Moves left all the way. Throws up a wild shot. Olander pulls it off. Kicks left. Lamb a jumper. Good! A three for Jeremy Lamb's first hoop of the game.
In the second half, the Huskies began to flex their muscles, showing their physical superiority and dominating the game on both ends of the court.
The difference in the second half was we created offense from our defense.
Mack gets it back, dribbles it out of trouble, gives up top, and it's stolen by Lamb. He races ahead of Norwood. It's a Lamb slam with one hand. And UConn equals its biggest lead, 31-26.
Everyone was rotating, helping the helper, things like that. And we was just body to body. We stayed, close to our men.
That's what UConn basketball is all about. Defense, running the ball, getting it going.
Lamb picks it up, moves left, stutter steps, back door. Walker finger rolls it home. A spectacular shot by K-Walk. 39-28 UConn, first double-digit lead, 10 minutes to play. Lamb takes a breath, gives left wing to Napier. Napier inside, Oriaki dunks, and he's fouled from the weak side from Mack.
By that point, we weren't going to be beat. We weren't going to let anybody score against us. It's a tape that kids will see here as a teaching tape of exactly how to play perfect defense.
Butler shot a paltry 18.8% from the field. Amazingly, the Bulldogs made just 3 two-point field goals the entire game.
Grab by Lamb with 7. He'll dribble out the clock. And the most improbable national championship in UConn history is in the books. It's a UConn national championship. Believe it or not, this one belongs to the Huskies. 53-41.
I still can't believe it, just looking around, seeing championship shirts and championship hats. When I really sit down and think about it, I just can't believe, what we came from and what we accomplished.
Every day for me, going into the locker room and just hanging out with my teammates, that's the highlight of my day. This is one of the teams I remember, for the rest of my life.
I will remember the leadership of Donnell and Kimba. I can see myself always talking about Kimba and Donnell in the future.
Everyone really likes each other in this team. We really love each other. These are really my brothers, and I think guys really mean it, and it's just a special thing to be around.
To watch their faces and how hard they had worked to get there was really moving to me. It's only become better since then. Because I'm starting to look back now. Finally, we did that, and we won those 11 games in that period of time. This is a run for the ages, it really is.
It's like a movie. It's like a movie. Everything was just perfect. It was like a dream come true.
And when you look back in the history of college basketball, you've had overwhelming teams that have done incredible things. But this was 7 freshmen, a great player in Kimba, and a team that truly personified what a team is.